It all started with a knock at my door. It was late at night and I was the only one home. I had been watching TV and I was about to go to bed when I heard the knock. I got up and went to the door. I hesitated for a moment before opening it. There was a man standing there. He was tall and thin with pale skin and dark hair. He was wearing a black coat and hat. "Can I help you?" I asked. The man didn't answer. He just stared at me with his cold, dark eyes. "Can I help you?" I asked again. The man still didn't answer. He just kept staring at me. I started to feel uncomfortable. "I'm going to close the door now," I said. I started to close the door, but the man put his hand out and stopped it. "Please," he said, "I need your help." I looked at him for a moment. I could see that he was serious. "What kind of help do you need?" I asked. "I need you to come with me," he said. "I don't know," I said. "I don't know you." "I know you," he said. "I know everything about you." I felt a chill run down my spine. "How do you know me?" I asked. "That doesn't matter," he said. "What matters is that I need your help." I looked at him for a long moment. I didn't know what to do. I didn't trust him, but I could see that he was desperate. "Okay," I said. "I'll go with you." The man smiled. "Thank you," he said. He turned and walked away. I followed him. We walked down the street and turned onto a dark alley. I stopped. "Where are we going?" I asked. "Just follow me," he said. I reluctantly followed him down the alley. It was dark and narrow and I couldn't see anything at the end of it. We walked for what felt like hours. Finally we came to a dead end. There was a brick wall in front of us. The man stopped and turned to me. "This is it," he said. "What is it?" I asked. "This is where I need your help," he said. He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a knife. My heart started to race. "What are you doing?" I asked. "I need you to cut me," he said. "Why?" I asked. "Because I need to show you something," he said. I shook my head. "I'm not going to do it." "You have to," he said. "It's the only way." I hesitated for a moment. I didn't know what to do. "Fine," I said. "But if you try to hurt me, I'll scream." The man nodded. "I understand." He held out his arm. I took the knife and hesitated for a moment. Then I made a small cut on his arm. Blood started to flow from the cut. The man smiled. "Thank you," he said. He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a small mirror. He handed it to me. I looked in the mirror and saw my own reflection. But something was wrong. My eyes were black and my skin was pale. "What is this?" I asked. "This is you," the man said. "No, it's not," I said. "This is impossible." "It's not impossible," the man said. "This is the real you." I shook my head. "I don't believe it." "That's up to you," the man said. "But the truth is, you're not human. You're a monster." I dropped the mirror and stepped back. "No," I said, "I'm not a monster." "Yes, you are," the man said. "And now that you know the truth, there's no going back." He raised the knife. I screamed and ran. I ran down the alley and out into the street. I didn't look back. I ran until I couldn't run anymore. Then I collapsed on the ground, exhausted. I lay there for a long time, trying to catch my breath. I couldn't believe what had just happened. Was I really a monster? I lay there for a long time, trying to catch my breath. I couldn't believe what had just happened. Was I really a monster, or was the man just trying to scare me? I didn't know what to think. I just knew that I needed to get away from there. I got up and started walking. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew that I couldn't stay in that place. I walked for hours until I came to a park. I sat down on a bench and tried to clear my head. I thought about what the man had said. He said that I wasn't human, that I was a monster. Could that be true? I looked down at my hands. They looked normal. I felt my face. It felt normal. But then I thought about the mirror. I had seen my reflection in the mirror, and it had been monstrous. I didn't know what to think. I was so confused. I decided to go home. I needed to talk to someone about this. I got up and started walking, but as I walked, I started to feel strange. I felt like I was being watched. I turned around and looked behind me, but there was no one there. I started to walk again, but the feeling persisted. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being followed. I started to walk faster. Then I started to run. I ran and ran until I couldn't run anymore. Then I collapsed on the ground, exhausted. I lay there for a long time, trying to catch my breath. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I was scared of the man. I was scared of the monster that I might be. I closed my eyes and tried to think. I needed to come up with a plan, but I couldn't think. I was too tired. I fell asleep. I woke up to the sound of footsteps. I opened my eyes and saw the man standing over me. He smiled. "Hello," he said. I sat up. "What do you want?" I asked. "I want to help you," he said. "Help me with what?" I asked. "Help you to embrace your true nature," he said. "Help you to become the monster that you were meant to be." I shook my head. "I don't want to be a monster," I said. "But you are a monster," he said, "and there's no denying it." He reached out his hand to me. "Come with me," he said. "Let me show you the way." I hesitated for a moment. Then I took his hand. He led me through the park and into the woods. We walked for a long time until we came to a clearing. In the middle of the clearing was a large tree. "This is it," the man said. "This is where you will become the monster that you are meant to be." He pushed me towards the tree. I stumbled and fell. I got up and looked at the tree. It was huge. I didn't know what to do. "Just touch it," the man said. "That's all you have to do." I hesitated for a moment. Then I reached out and touched the tree. As soon as my fingers made contact with the bark, I felt a surge of power coursing through my veins. I screamed as the power consumed me. I fell to the ground and writhed in pain. My body began to change. My skin turned pale. My eyes turned black. My nails grew long and sharp. I became a monster. I stood up and looked at myself. I was unrecognizable. I was huge and powerful. I could feel the rage inside of me. I let out a roar and charged at the man. He tried to run, but I was faster. I caught him and tore him to shreds. I tasted his blood and I liked it. I wanted more. I ran into the woods searching for more prey. I killed everything in my path. I was a monster and I loved it. I am a monster and I am free.